Okay, I was not expecting this anime to go this fucking hard. In the beginning, this show didn't seem to get much traction, mainly because of the fact that it's a Netflix original anime, and Netflix is the realm where all anime go to never get any type of promotion, generating very little hype. But against all odds, Cyberpunk Edgerunners somehow did the unthinkable, exceeding everyone's expectations by winning Anime of the Year. With the backing of a well-known animation studio of Studio Trigger, combined with a big name in Cyberpunk 2077, a video game with such a vast, fleshed out, and robust world, this project had all the pieces to make a big splash onto the anime scene. I like to classify myself as a gamer, but Cyberpunk 2077 was something I didn't dare to touch. I'm sorry guys, I'm not a true gamer. I didn't play the game. The only detail I knew about the game prior to watching this anime was the fact that the game was buggy as hell and had some goofy ass gameplay. And that was one of the reasons why I didn't watch this anime up until now, but once the show finished, I saw so many videos come up that were hyping it up to such a degree that now I thought it would ruin my experience watching it, so I waited a couple of months for my expectations to calm down a bit and then start watching it with zero bias. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a story that takes place about a year in the past before the events of Cyberpunk 2077. You're brought into this world of highly technological advances where pretty much everyone in some way or another has some sort of body modification on them. We have our protagonist David Martinez living in this environment, but is merely trying to survive the violent dystopian metropolis known as Night City, filled with corruption and crime. He lives in a struggling household where he's being supported by his single mother so he can be able to attend a reputable academy in order to one day join and climb the corporate ladder. But one day on his way home with his mother, they got caught in the crossfire of a drive-by shootout, causing their car to crash in the middle of the chaos, where his mother tragically passed away because they weren't able to afford proper healthcare. But before I continue, I had one issue with this scene. The entire time I was thinking, why the fuck is the mom still hitting the gas pedal while the car is being shot full of holes? Like, for the love of God, just hit the goddamn brakes. With the passing of his mother, David then decided to survive in his own way by becoming an edgerunner siding with the wrong side of the law. He was recruited by Lucy, an experienced edgerunner herself, after bumping into her when she tried to hack and steal his biochip. He later ended up joining a group of high-tech black market mercenaries, the team that Lucy is also a part of, in order to find comfort and camaraderie. The initial release of the game didn't live up to the hype that surrounded it, but you can still see that the team put a whole lot of effort and attention to detail in creating the cyberpunk world. The setting is perfect. You have this dark, gritty, yet vibrant city filled with all these colorful characters that are attached to this place to give it body and structure, which really ties it all together, bringing Night City to life. Cyberpunk Edgerunners takes all the core elements of the game and adds on top of it incredible music, amazing characters, a solid story, and not to mention beautiful animation. I mean, just take a look at the designs of each one of these characters. You have Maine, Doc, Rebecca, Kiwi, Dorio, Faraday. All of them look unique, and combined with their own twisted personality, it makes them all stand out from one another.
I believe I was clear when I requested only the navigation data.
Yo, I heard that voice before. It's that one guy from Breaking Bad.
What did you say?
As I was saying, every character is written so well that even the ones that have limited amount of screen time are beloved by the fans. For example, Lucy's gang. None of them had a backstory, yet it still feels like you've known them for the longest time. The way they interacted together left a lasting impression on everyone watching this show. Everyone within the crew had a purpose there. Not one of them felt out of place. There are only 10 episodes and it's jam-packed with so much story and detail that no minute is truly wasted. One portion of the show that I love is how they display cyberpsychosis, where whenever someone implants more cybernetic parts in them, the more they slowly become insane. But living in a violent city, they can't just simply stop. They'll need these implants in order to survive, especially if their work involves crime. And this portion of the show where characters have a mental battle with their addiction of wanting to get stronger with the latest upgrades or lose their mind is brilliant. If you guys ever watch any anime made by Studio Trigger, you can see their own personal flair draped all over this show. Although Studio Trigger hasn't knocked it out of the park with any of their most recent projects that they've released, those shows are still solid but just not as impactful as their previous projects. Especially when they keep using their cookie cutter formula on top of every project that they've worked on, it gets quite stale after a while. So working on Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Studio Trigger had to turn it down a notch on creating those insane hype moments that they're known for in shows like Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill. You can tell that they couldn't go over the top, balls to the walls crazy with their direction because it would ruin the foundation that has been set up already by the original source material. This works worked perfectly in their favor because this show had some of the most violent scenes, something I would never have expected Studio Trigger having the capability to do. It doesn't shy away from all the action and displays some of the most gruesome fight scenes in any anime. The show literally begins with 2 minutes of non-stop violence with the dude popping someone's brain out and then slicing dudes in half with his implanted blades. This anime also has some of the coolest uses of guns and weaponry. Every shot from a gun or cannon from one of their implants eviscerates people and bursts them into a pool of blood, like this scene for example. Come on, tell me that's not fucking sick. What ties these elements together, the characters, the story, the animation, is the soundtrack. The music is one of the first things I noticed while watching the show. For every little scene, there's a song for it that instantly fits the vibe and immerses you into their world. Simple scenes like David walking to school, or characters sitting down and just casually talking. And much like the characters in the show, it also uses a diverse genre of music from rock to reggae to electronic to synthwaves. It's clear to me that no matter the genre, you know the soundtrack is exceptional when your head just starts nodding along to any one of the track's beats. There are even scenes where the music is the center of attention where zero dialogue is happening. This stood out to me because typically I never pay attention to the background music. It's usually just noise for me whenever I'm watching any anime because none of them stand out. But with Cyberpunk Edgerunners, it's different. I'm not sure how to explain it with words except it just slaps.